All right, this is 6th grade math 4.7, page 203 in your book. So I've been watching some of you watch your podcasts, and many of you do not have your books open while you're watching them. Make sure you are. That's what this is geared for you to watch and follow along with me in the book. All right, so on page 203, the vocabulary: gram, milligram, kilogram, liter, milliliter, kiloliter. These are the units right here, the grams, and then the liters. The only one we're not talking about is meters. Those are the measurements of length, and right now the name of this lesson is mass and capacity. So mass is how much it weighs, so that's the weight right here. This is the mass, and these right here is capacity, how much something holds. I always think about a 2 liter of pop, or maybe even the 1 liter. Sometimes you can see the 1 liter. So let's take a look at some of these, and let me erase that 2 liter thing right there. So I don't spend a lot of time memorizing these, but sometimes it's nice to know the measurements, but I do like to have a reference point for how big is a gram. So a gram is about the size of a grain of sugar. Very, very small. You know what a grain of sugar is. Teeny, teeny, tiny. Hardly weighs anything. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a milligram. Oop, back that up. I thought, wait a minute, milla is my little one. So after I said teeny, tiny, I thought, whoa, I'm saying that wrong. A milligram is about a grain of sugar. Okay, and a gram is about a small paper clip. Okay, and a kilogram, according to the book, is about the mass of a book. Probably your math book. Okay, would be a good reference point to use for that one. All right, so then also let's do these while we're on this page for liters. A milliliter is about what an eyedropper can hold. And you may use those in science. Sometimes I think about the eyedroppers, like when you were little and you took the medicine. Remember, it was kind of in an eyedropper thing. That's about it. The liter is like a large bottle of water. And if you look at the bottle of water I usually have on my desk, my blue bottle, my blue Camelback bottle, is exactly a liter. So that's a good reference point. A kiloliter is about 5 bathtubs full of water. Okay, so you know that's quite a bit. So that gives you a reference point for the kiloliter, or for that. Let's go ahead and see what the examples have in store for us. An item has a mass of about 10.3 kilograms. Is it a dog or a pencil? Explain. So we know a kilogram is about your textbook. So 10 of them would be 10 textbooks. Well, I'd hate to write with a pencil that weighs 10 textbooks. So it says the mass of a book is about 1 kilogram, so 10.3 kilograms is a mass of about 10 books. So I would say it would be a dog. And that's a pretty big dog. I know that's bigger than my dog would be bigger. No, my dog isn't 10 textbooks, I don't think. It may be 3 or 4 textbooks, but not 10. Okay, example number 2. That's it on that one. That one went pretty quick, didn't it? Example number 2 says, tell whether it is the most appropriate unit to measure the capacity of the item is milliliters, liters, or kiloliters. Okay, a bucket. We're not going to fill a bucket up with an eyedropper. That's kind of how I think about it. And a bucket isn't going to be a bathtub. So for bucket, I think we should use liters. A teaspoon is really little. You know, it's like what you eat your soup or your cereal with. So that one is I'm going to use milliliters. And I probably should have go back. You know what I'm going to do? Let's go back to these, because sometimes we see the I didn't put the abbreviations for them down. Gram is just a G. Milligram is a small m and a big L. milligram, sorry, I'm thinking of too many things at once. Milligram is mg, and kilogram is kg. All right, liter is a capital L. Milliliter is that little m and the big L, and kiloliter is the little k. Well, that's not a very little k. A little k, I guess small case letter, and then the capital L. All right, so put those in your notes too. It's nice to have those. So we talked about, so we got liters for the bucket and milliliters for the teaspoon. Let's see if they agree. The capacity of the bucket is closest to the capacity of a large bottle of water, so you should use liters. The capacity of a teaspoon is closest to the capacity of an eyedropper, so you should use milliliters. Absolutely. Example 3, choose an appropriate metric unit to measure the item. The mass of an eraser. Okay, remember mass is the grams, so is it going to be a gram, a milligram, or a kilogram? Okay, a gram is about a grain of salt. Milligram is the eyedropper. Is that right? Yes. Boy, milligram's not. Milligram is the grain of salt, or sugar. A gram is about a paperclip, and a kilogram is your textbook. Okay, so I think we can rule kilogram out. It's not going to be textbook, and I don't think I would do it with the sugar. I would do it in grams, like how many paper clips equal about the weight. So I'm going to say grams. Okay, the capacity of a bottle of nail polish. You know, nail polish, they come in pretty small bottles, so I don't think you'd have a liter of nail polish or 5 bathtubs full of nail polish. So I think it'd be pretty reasonable for us to rule out those two and say that for nail polish it would be milliliters. So let's see what we come up with. The mass of an eraser is much greater than 1 milligram and much less than 1 kilogram, so you should use grams. The capacity of a bottle of nail polish is much less than 1 liter or 1 kiloliter, so you should use milliliters. Excellent, I agree. Okay, mass. An animal has a mass of 56 grams. Is it a cat or a mouse? 56 grams would be 56 paper clips, right? 56 paper clips are pretty little. You know, cats can be pretty big. So I'm going to, because of 56, I'm looking at my desk where I have my paper clips and it's not very big. I'm going to say that it's about the size of a mouse because 56 grams is not going to be big enough for a cat. A mouse is small, so 56 paper clips would make about the same mass as a mouse. I agree with that. Choose an appropriate metric unit to measure the item. Okay, capacity of a wheelbarrow. A wheelbarrow is, you know, you push that around. It's a little bit bigger than a wagon. With capacity, so we have milliliters, liters, or kiloliters. I'm going to say we should probably do liters for a wheelbarrow. Milliliters, we don't want to fill it with an eyedropper, and it's not the bathtub. So wheelbarrow, I say a liter. The mass of a test tube. A test tube is pretty light. You know, it's glass. So for its weight, I don't know if we would want to do, I think probably, because there's still a little weight to glass, I'm going to guess grams. Let's do that in grams and see what we come up with. And the mass of a car, car's pretty heavy. A lot of textbooks make up a car, so I'm going to go kilograms. The capacity of a thermos. Now, I have a thermos that's about as tall as my blue jug, so I'm going to say liter for the thermos. Okay, we wouldn't have a thermos that would fill 5 bathtubs, so let's see how we, I think that's what we had, isn't it? Liter, grams, kiloliters, liters. Yep, exactly. All right, so use the reference points that we talked about, the grain of sugar and so on, you know, the paper clips and all of that to help you kind of reason and come up with the appropriate measures for the items they give you. And I think that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.